Okay, welcome to my Screencastify. So this is a test on how the students will be able to use this technology in class on a regular basis. So we are looking at Paul Revere's Ride, which is a very famous poem, um, historical poem, and I've made a few annotations near the beginning of the poem just to show you what the students would do. So once the students highlight it, they can also put their notes. So I chose the first two lines of the poem. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. So this introduces a concept of rhythm as being integral to the plot of the poem. So if you read these lines aloud, you should hear a galloping sound. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. Okay, so that would be my first note. I don't know, how do I get it to go away? I don't want to click the X because I'm scared it'll know. Oh yeah, it's still there. All right. And so my next note, I highlighted the word prison bar, and it comes from the line, they're looking at a ship out in the harbor, and a phantom ship with each mast and spar across the moon like a prison bar. Okay, so he calls the ship Phantom to reinforce this idea of danger. Okay, like it's a ghostly ship, and that what they are doing is dangerous and can get them killed or landed in prison. Okay, because obviously they're revolutionaries and they're betraying the government. So the note that I put, so word choice because of the word prison, and then simile, obviously, across the moon like a prison bar. So there's figurative language. And the author's purpose is to not only tell a story, to get us excited about the war that's coming up, but also to remind us that that these are heroes, and they want these heroes to be remembered about the upcoming war. So to garner more hype for the war that's coming up, to create more heroes. Okay, and my final note that I made, let me get rid of this one. Sorry if I'm rambling, it's my first time using this. Okay, so in this stanza, I highlighted the lines, on the somber rafters that round him made, masses and moving shapes of shade. These are probably my two favorite lines in the poem because of the alliteration. So I think that's what I put. So alliteration and author's purpose. So as you can see in my first note up here, I explained a lot. And so at the beginning of the year, I'll have my students make notes as to why they did it. But over time, I'm going to have them move to these type of notes. And then in the screencast, they'll be explaining more and less reading. And so for this one, I put alliteration and author's purpose. So we have the M, M, and the SH, SH repetition. And also there's an M here. So that alliteration helps for the sound of the poem. And then also the author's purpose, because remember, he's in a church and it's really dark and all these shadows are moving around. And it's to reinforce this idea of danger that these revolutionaries are undergoing.